Hi, this is Dan Silvestri
And Tom Pizzato
from SpyMovieNavigator.com. Join us on our Cracking the Code of Spy Movie podcast by subscribing to our channel. Today, we're going to do our quick fire look as we crack the code of the trailer released for the April 2020 Bond movie, No Time to Die. Trailers are supposed to intrigue the audience and get them to want to see the movie by creating some wonder and speculation as to what the rest of the movie will be about without really giving away any spoilers.
Well, and that's what this discussion we're going to have is going to be, is a bunch of speculation. So it's going to be interesting to listen to this after we actually see the movie.
Yeah.
Because one of the things they do in trailers is they'll purposely put things in to make you think one thing when something else is going to happen in the actual movie.
Yeah, it must be tough to put the trailers together after all the filming they've done, and to do it without giving away a lot of stuff, but they just enough to get you interested. So we asked some of our users on Twitter and Facebook what they thought of the trailer too before we get into what we think. And this one guy, John, said it was a well-done trailer. It captures the essence of what is to come, in my opinion. Another fella, Andre, said, my thoughts are positive. The trailer looks good. But the trailer for Spectre looked good too, so okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and then Eddie on Twitter, this guy's good. He knows a lot of stuff. He had a great lengthy email to us about this. I'm just going to do a couple of pieces. He said, "Hey guys, this is Eddie from Montreal, Canada. While I definitely enjoyed No Time to Die, the trailer, I think it lacks something of the mystery and majesty that made those of Skyfall and Spectre so astonishing." So there's something. He said, hey, nevertheless, the trailer for the new one is still quite interesting, but I fear it may hint at a convoluted plot involving genetic engineering plus a palpable sense of needing to prove Bond's relevance, yet again, to the contemporary world, while at the same time tying up all the loose-fitting ends of the Craig timeline, which leaves me fearing an unwieldy mess. Let's hope I'm completely wrong about this. So,
Eddie, I hope you're wrong.
Yeah, Eddie, we hope you're wrong too. I love this trailer. That's my opinion. I think it's good. It starts off with a lot of action, and I looked at this as, okay, show me a clip of something, and does that intrigue me? Does that make me think, what's this about? What's going to happen next? So I think it starts off like that. You know, you got the action scene driving the Aston Martin in Matera, Italy, with Swan in the car, and Swan turning to him asking, why would I betray you? And Bond says, we all have our secrets. We just didn't get to yours yet. I thought that was a great line. It's a great line because I love the opening of this trailer because what Bond says is universally true. We all have our secrets, and it makes us wonder, what are Bond's secrets that haven't been revealed to us yet? So that makes me think, well, you're hiding stuff too. And for Swan, we don't know if she betrayed him from this clip or what the nature of the betrayal might be, but this is all happening during this intense chase scene, and Bond looks angry when he's speaking. And this motorcycle and a car, of course, are in pursuit with gunfire flying their way. So I'm wondering, looking at this clip, which is a good thing for the clip to do, make me wonder. I'm wondering if she did betray him, and maybe did she betray him to the enemy, then why are they chasing him and firing at him with her in the car? So I think this looks good, this first clip. I loved it because of that.
You know, now it's interesting you talk about the secrets here. And as we go through this, you know, when we were talking about doing this podcast on this trailer, I told you I had a lot of apprehension because for me, I might want to watch a trailer once and that's it. Because I want to know as little about the movie as possible going in.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna use this and we're gonna go through the different scenes in the trailer, and we'll have our own speculation trying to disclose the secrets of what's behind this. That said, beautiful scene opening this thing up with the village of Matera. and the chase there with her, and an interesting conversation that they had as you're going like, what is really happening here with her, and how much does he really know about her? I mean, his whole knowledge of her from Spectre was really, really short, and which is one of the interesting things about Bond is he like hooks up with these women really fast and sometimes really gets in almost no time.
Yeah. He kind of fell for Vesper in a big way.
Having feelings for them.
Yeah. So that's great. And then the next little clip, he's jumping off a bridge, or it looks like he is, but he's apparently tethered. You see a line kind of there, and we see the MGM, the Universal logos and stuff. But then we hear, the world is arming faster than we can respond. Then there's some sweet explosions, and we hear M ask, "Where's 007?" Again, for me, more intrigue. We all heard the rumors that the doors are going to open and in walks Lashana Lynch after he asks, "Where's 007?" But here, interestingly, we see an immediate cut to a sailboat and then Bond standing in
Jamaica.
In this idyllic setting on some type of decking overlooking water and stuff. It didn't cut to her walking in. Now, maybe she still will.
Remember that's one of the things they do in trailers, though, is they make you think one thing's going to happen, and then when you actually go to the movie, you see something different. So that rumor that's out there that line happens and then she walks through the door
still major,
still could be true.
It still could be true. So again, here in this particular thing, why is there intrigue? Hey, we don't know. We don't know. At the end of Spectre, it's not clear he retired. You kind of suspect he's thinking, I've had enough. But we really don't know. So here in this little clip, you think, okay, we don't know if Bond's on vacation or if he actually really did retire, as we heard. And from the clip, we really just don't know. And we don't know from the clip if Bond is still 007 or he's been replaced or the number has been reissued. So again, a clip and intrigue. Is there intrigue in this clip? If yes, I think they're doing a good job. And I think, again, in this clip, there's more intrigue.
Oh, and I want to see more of Jamaica. You say there's the intrigue, but you're sitting there, and I mean that deck that Bond is standing on, and you're looking out in the little lagoon and the trees and everything. It just looks really gorgeous.
Yes. And
I want to see more of that. And one of the things in this trailer that is different than what they did before is they released something in June called "On the Set of Bond 25 Jamaica." And that was really all Jamaica stuff. And I you know me, I love the islands.
Yeah.
So I like to see more of that. There's not much that I can tell in this trailer that's Jamaica based. You've got that scene. There's a couple others, but not a whole heck of a lot in this trailer.
Yeah, and for trailers, I think they have to be 2.5 minutes or less. That was the rule of the theaters, because a trailer, I think originally they were called trailers in the early 1900s when there were films, because they were attached to whatever the feature film was in the movie, and then it came at the end to kind of entice you to go to another movie. I read that somewhere, that I think that's why they call them trailers. But I think so there's a limit. It's got to be 2.5 minutes or less. And I think they still do that. And this is the same. And so, they can't put a lot of the stuff in. It must be tough. But, I want to see more Jamaica, too. The next thing we see is a familiar scene. Felix Leiter meeting Bond in a bar, saying...
that's one that makes you feel comfortable, right?
Yeah, saying, hey, I need a favor from you, brother. You're the only one I trust for this. And Bond apparently buys in. We see a glimpse of Bond uncovering a car, which kind of reminded me of Skyfall when he goes to the garage and gets the Aston, and it looks like the Aston, right?
It does.
And we hear simultaneously that the world has moved on, Commander. And he asks, "Are you a W?" We see Lashana Lynch there, and he asks, "Are you a 00?" And he's speaking with her. And her response is 2 years. And then, of course, we see a lot more action, and we hear a very stern warning. And I thought, okay, let's see what this says. "So stay in your lane," she says. "You get in my way, and I'll put a bullet in your knee, the one that works." I was like, okay, did they create intrigue again? Yeah, I think so. Again, this sounds like Bond's been gone for at least 2 years. And it sounds like this 00 agent has the authority to keep him out of the way by shooting him. So now you're thinking, well, maybe he has nothing to do with MI6 anymore. Can this be true? It all conjures up all these kinds of images and questions. How did Bond leave the service? If he in fact did, was he forced out? Was it age? Something he did or failed to do? Yeah, hey, I don't know. And now Felix has reeled him back in just when he thought he was out. He gets brought back in, and what is he now? A rogue ex-agent? It's hard to figure, but again, it's making you wonder.
Yeah. Now, one thing that scene that you're talking about here did for me from an intrigue perspective is I really wasn't familiar with Lashana Lynch's body of work. And so I didn't really know her. And seeing that clip was like, oh, she's going to be good in this role. Right. It just that little bit there really kind of was like, all right.
She has a
she's
presence.
Got this.
Yeah. She has a presence when she says, in the good one, the one that works.
The one that still works.
The one that works. It's like, whoa, okay, that's good. Now, of course, that makes you wonder, too, wait a minute, where did Bond hurt the other knee? It's got to be in this movie because he wasn't limping in every other movie.
Well, he was limping at the end. I thought he was at the end of Spectre, isn't he?
Was he
limping he's limping on that bridge going away from
Blofeld.
When he leaves Blofeld. But this is years later because he says, "Oh, you're a 00 now," and she says, "I've been in one for 2 years." So
2 years, yeah.
There's definitely some time that's happened here between that. So I wouldn't think whatever happened on that bridge is still causing him grief.
Yeah, I thought this was great. It was great. It was challenging dialogue, and we see this 00 agent and Bond now walking with Moneypenny, and for Moneypenny says, "I knew you two would get along." It's like, okay, again, intrigue. Wait, are they getting along? It didn't seem so in the beginning when she said, "I'll put a bullet in your knee." Now, if so, this is really what I would like to see happen. If they are getting along, this is actually how I would like to see a transition made. That a strong female agent comes up the ranks, works with Bond on missions, and not replaces him. And if we do that, we get a strong female spy alongside James Bond that can be used again and again in future movies. And or hey, if this particular strong female spy dies, you get another one in the next one to work with him. I would think that would be a great little scenario for future Bond movies, is the two agents, two 00s working together, one a strong female in Bond. I would love that.
Well, one of the things that I had heard a long time ago about this movie was that they were going to try to go more to the IMF model from Mission Impossible, where there's really a team that's working, that it's not necessarily just the lone wolf out there trying to get things done.
Yeah.
So that could be part of what we're seeing here.
Yeah, I would love it.
The beautiful part about talking about it off a trailer, we could be totally wrong.
Yeah, and that's the fun of this. We're all speculating, and I love that some of our users emailed us. We can't put them all in here because we're trying to do this in a little bit of time. And one just came in now, actually. You just heard the thing dinging. So yeah, it's been good. And I think the key is here that each of these little snippets they selected is creating this wonder of, what's going to happen next. I love the little next scene where Bond is checking in, apparently to the MI6 office, and he has to identify himself. And he tells the security agent, "Bond." And the security agent looks up at him like almost like rolling his eyes, saying, "Yeah, Bond, what does that mean? And how long has this guy been gone?" And he looks at him and it's like, "James Bond." Like, you don't know what the hell I am after I've done. But it was a great scene. I thought it was pretty funny. And
that was really funny. The other thing that I really liked about it was the way they made him up from the look he had there.
Mm-hmm.
He looked old.
Yeah.
Right? Now he's only 51.
Yeah.
Right. So, to him, to us, he's pretty young, right?
Yeah, and if he's retired because of his age, then I think they have a challenge in the next movie. Now, what do they do? You gonna reboot again, or?
Yeah, exactly. And with Daniel being 51, portraying this character, he looked really old in that shot. He doesn't look that old in a lot of the other shots, but for this scene, and I think it was really to play up the whole Bond. What do you mean you don't know me, James Bond?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we also have to remember it's been 4 years since Spectre?
5, I think. Yeah.
5, yeah. So yeah, by the time this releases, it'll be 5 years. And Lashana's had her 00 for 2 years, so
Yeah.
there's a big gap in time here. So I just actually love the way they did the makeup on him,
Yeah.
or the lighting, or whatever it is to make him look a lot
And the camera
older,
angles were good. Were really great in
Yeah.
that little clip. It was, if you relook at it again, you see the camera angles like, oh yeah, that's
Yep.
good. So it makes you wonder. And then of course he sees Q, and Q says, "So you're not dead." To Bond.
Exactly.
Okay, so that makes you wonder again. Something must have happened, maybe when he was falling off the bridge or whatever. Bond does his old little quip. "Hello, Q, I've missed you."
And just walks right past him
Yeah, he
into the
walks
room.
right past
He
him.
I just love the way he does that.
Yeah, but
You're here, but I'm here.
they've gone out of their way to make us believe that he's been gone a while, and
Yep.
so now he's talking to Q again, and Moneypenny there, and it makes us wonder: is MI6 officially bringing him back in? Are they? I don't know. Or has he been gone with nothing to do with MI6 for all this time? Or what?
And his lighter's query of, "Hey, I need your help on this one, buddy."
Yeah.
Is that really, is he back in fully or not?
Yeah.
You know.
So here you're wondering again, and this little clip makes you wonder what's going to happen, and why again was he gone in the first place? So again, more intriguing dialogue. I love that. Then you hear about it's the most valuable asset this country has, and I'm thinking, what is the 00 branch, or maybe it's that. And if you find yourself losing control, I love that little part, that little clip where he's walking around the corner. If you find yourself losing control, I won't lose. He sees Madeline Swan. Control.
And Lashana. So, and the reaction he has there is interesting because, again, this is a trailer. It's supposed to intrigue you.
Yes.
Why does he have that stutter on Control? Is it that he sees Lashana with Swan?
Yeah, that's a good question. Or just her.
Yeah,
and she's carrying some kind of papers too. I think in that clip, right? She's or Swan is, and you're wondering, okay, does she actually work for MI6 while he was unknown to him? I thought it was a brilliant little clip. It was fun. Yeah,
intrigue. I want to know what happened. When I see this movie, I want to see how did they get there, and what does that scene really mean to us?
Yeah. It sets you up wondering, and you want to, hey, what was her role? What has her role been, and where has she been? What has she been doing? Swan, and of course, we don't know much about the new 00 agent. We're going to find out more. So that was fun. And the next little snippet is the Bond talking to someone who looks like Blofeld. I guess it is Blofeld, incarcerated in that box, kind of like, remember Silva in Skyfall.
Well, what I loved about the way they did this is, in Skyfall, Silva's in that round thing with the glass and everything that had a very, very, in my mind, close tie to how they had Hannibal Lecter.
Yes. Yeah.
In, oh God, no, I'm spacing.
Silence of the Lambs.
Thank you, Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
So how they had Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
And that was that round thing that he was in, and they talked to him. And then when Silva was there, they had a very similar thing. Here, they've taken it and said, okay, we've got this isolation booth thing that we're going to have him in, but we're going to have it look a little bit different. And we're going to have it look more boxy and everything. It's less grandiose than what we had before.
Yes, right. Very
and
stuck.
Actually makes him look more confined than what you had with Silva. So I really love this scene here in the trailer, and I really want to see that thing play out.
Yeah. And he says, "You gave up everything for her." And then you see shots of Bond kissing Swan. Bond, then there's that shot of Bond lying with a bare chest, eyes closed. You don't know what's going on there. Is he? And the woman who pulls away from her kind of looks like Swan, but you don't know for sure because the hair is like, whew, and it's gone. And so now you don't know, is he dead or what's happening here?
Yeah, actually, let me back up a second, because after you get that line from Blofeld, there's sitting there, and there's just this gorgeous shot of Matera. There's some fires there, as you can see the lights. So this is at dusk. It's just, one of the things about Bond has been the imagery of where they are and how they take where they shot, where they filmed these things, and how they use those places to really show the beauty or the intrigue of where they are. And I just think that it's a quick shot, but it's just absolutely beautiful. And it's like,
Yeah.
Dan, this is getting on our list of places we have to go.
Yeah. I know. We're gonna have to find that place. And then the voice continues. When her secret finds its way out, and then they cut the scene of a box being open, and there's this like Phantom of the Opera type mask inside of it, and then it continues. It will be the death of you. It's like, okay, is that creating a little intrigue? Yeah.
Yeah, just a bit.
What is the secret?
And it makes you think back to the beginning of the trailer, which talks about, why would I betray you?
Yeah. And what's the secret? Why will it be the death of Bond? And is there really no time to die, or can there be? There be time for Bond to die? What is happening? So this one is brilliant, I think, too. This little snippet is great because it really makes you think exactly what we're talking about now. What the hell is going on? And maybe he is going to die.
Now, the other thing is at that snippet, if you look at her hair, as they freeze on, as they pull back and they do that close up of her and look at her hair.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring that back later in this conversation. So keep going. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. And then you see the next little scene where Bond is confronting Swan, and he asks, "What is it?" Now, maybe it's following up on what the hell the secret is or whatever. Who knows? And she says, "You don't know what that is?" And it's kind of a question. First, I thought I listened to it 3 or 4 or 5 times, and I thought she was just stating it. You don't know what that is. Like, you don't know what that is.
No,
but I think it's a question, right?
It is a question.
You don't know what that is. You don't know what that is?
We'll find out in April.
Yeah. And of course, we don't know what it is. Now, okay, more intrigue. He doesn't know what it is. Okay. We don't know what it is, and we want to know what it is. And again, why should Bond know about this thing? And does she think he might have known about it? Why did she say, you don't know what this is? Like, he should have known what it was, but he doesn't know what it is?
That was how I interpreted it. Now, the other thing with that, too, is right before that scene, there's another cut to Blofeld in the box, and then there's a beautiful scenery with a helicopter in kind of a forest area in the hills, which, again, going back to my bringing the beauty of the place, but there's intrigue with this, too. What's going on here? My guess is this is going to be an absolutely stunningly beautiful movie.
Yeah, from the, of course, in these trailers, they give you some of the stunning stuff, whatever the trailer is about, whether it's a comedy, they give you some of the best jokes, and then you look at it, you go, well, those were the best jokes in the clip.
I hope that's not the case here.
Yeah.
I hope that just gets
generally
my appetite for what I'm going to see in terms of
generally it's not. That aerial shot of the trees was beautiful, and that's when Safin, I don't even know how you pronounce it. Rami Malek character, he says, he's talking about Bond, James Bond, License to Kill, history of violence, and he's talking about all of that kind of stuff. And he says something about speaking to your own reflection. I couldn't understand what he was saying there, actually.
Well, that's actually one of the things that has me concerned with the mask, because it sounds to me like he's got the mask on when he's saying those words. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to understand him for parts of it. Yeah. And normally I have no problem understanding him when he says anything.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we don't get too much of that in the actual movie, because I listened to it
me. Probably 30 times. I couldn't figure out what he was saying.
And it's like, okay, if anybody at Eon's listening to us on this, redub that because it was hard to understand, maybe intentionally.
I had a few people listen and they couldn't figure it out either.
Yeah, and given that it sounded like he was going through the mask, that does frighten me, because you do see him in the mask in a little bit.
But then he says, Rami's character, only your skills will die with your body. Mine will survive long after I'm gone. And this is when they're showing the man in that snow parka, and he's got the thing on, the mask on, and the assault rifle and whatever.
Yep.
And so again, are we intrigued? What the hell is he talking about? and how will his skills live on after he dies? So it's leaving us.
And what you just said there, what the hell is he talking about? You're not saying that dismissively. That's what the hell I want to know.
Yeah, we want to know what the heck he's talking about. Yeah, that absolutely. So then, of course, the big line, the Bond to Rami's character, Safin, history isn't kind to men who play God.
Yeah, exactly.
Then again, you see a lot of beautiful action scenes, car crashing, a woman, I think it was Ana de Armas, right?
Yeah,
Firing weapons.
I'm going to give you an aside here. So another actress, I really didn't know her body of work.
Yeah.
The movie Knives Out just came out here in the States on our Thanksgiving last week, and I went to that. And she's actually in that with Daniel Craig. And so, and she did a great job in it. So, and actually, as an aside, that's actually a fun movie to go see. But it was nice to see them working together there, and it kind of like sets the stage for, in my mind, for them working together in this movie.
And she happens to be beautiful.
Yes.
Anyway, she's firing weapons. There's a motorcycle, looks like it's leaping up steps onto a street, and more chases.
Now, let me stop you on that.
Yeah.
All right, because this weekend during the NFL football games, they did a teaser of the teaser, which just cracked me up.
Okay.
Right. The trailer's coming soon, right? So here's a trailer of the trailer, and they show that scene. Now, I've watched that scene probably 40 times.
Okay.
And I've watched it at different speeds, and half the time I look at it, it looks to me like that actually was CGI or something like that.
Yeah, I was thinking it might have.
Because it almost looks like the tires of the motorcycle aren't hitting the ramp.
Yeah. I looked at it a lot too. I couldn't tell, but I was hoping it wasn't CGI.
But that said, it's one hell of a stunt. It looks great.
Yeah, it does. Then again, you see Bond in a tux, of course. He has to have a tux on somewhere. And then I love the impactful, I think one of the most impactful scenes they showed is him and the Aston Martin making donuts, spinning around and firing. Yeah,
actually, that's
weapons.
At the end. That's at the end. Before we get to that, because you skipped over a lot of action stuff. We've talked a lot about dialogue and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there is a series here of maybe 15, 20 seconds of the trailer that is action. It's helicopters chasing things in the water. One of the things about Matera is there's all these caves. And it looks like he's in this cave and he's shooting his rifle off in this cave. You've got, just the action parts of these. There's fighting, there's the motorcycles going, and it's just really quick clips, but the intrigue that happens there. And before we get to the part with the car turning around, after the motorcycle, there is this shot that I kind of alluded to earlier where I said, take note of her hair. Right, there's a shot through a piece of glass, looks to be a window, and it's rigid, and so you can't, it obscures what's behind it.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the beautiful thing about a trailer is you want to obscure things, so it obscures what's behind it, but it sure looks like there's a mask there, on the person on the other side.
Okay.
And the hair looks a lot like Swan's, and later you actually see the mask on Rami's character, but here it sure looks like it's her hair. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But again, that's the beautiful thing about a trailer.
Yeah,
we won't know until April.
And we really don't know if the clips are showing us are sequential. Really, they could be cut all over the place, and we don't know if they're really sequential. He's here, maybe he's dead, or maybe who knows. We don't know exactly what's going on there, but this donut scene thing is great, 'cause I think that's the final scene in the trailer is where the Aston Martin is doing the donuts, and the guns are coming out of the headlights. He's got Gatling guns or something, and they're I thought was really great. That was a great shot. But if you notice, the very first shot of this basically is a bell swinging, presumably ringing. And this, to me, is the mystery of the entire trailer, the bell. We remember...
Really?
Huh?
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
The bell. Why is the bell there? So here's what I'm thinking. We remember Ernest Hemingway's For Whom the Bell Tolls. Historically, when a church rang a bell, it signified that someone died, a parishioner, a member of the congregation, whatever. and people hearing the bell would wonder who died, for whom the bell tolls, who died. The main character in For Whom the Bell Tolls, Robert Jordan, at the end of the book is alone, and he's dying in the forest, awaiting the enemy. And he sent everybody else along because he was wounded and he knew he was going to die. And the famous line in the book is, "Do not ask for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee." That was taken from a sermon by this guy, John Donne. And it was meant to mean that when someone dies, the bell that's rung is for all mankind because we're all connected. So don't ask for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. It tolls for all of us. So my question here is this bell tolling really for Bond, who is going to die or will die? And in the novel by Hemingway, you don't see Jordan die. We assume he will die as the ruthless enemy is coming at him. Here we see the bell. Is this bell tolling in No Time to Die a hint that perhaps we will see Bond dying at the end? Not dead, but dying. And if so, the bell tolls for all of us Bond fans. This is not crazy idea, because this would not be the first.
It may not be a crazy idea, but boy, talk about looking for symbolism.
No. But wait, it's not the first time a Hemingway novel would be referenced in a Bond film, right? In License to Kill, at the Hemingway house in Key West, Florida, in the U.S., M is revoking Bond's license to kill, and he asks Bond to turn over his weapon, and Bond quips, "A farewell to arms." So to me, the bell, this is the most important image of this entire trailer, and it may be tolling a very sad message for all of us. That's my take on it.
Okay. And then the last thing I really want to comment about the trailer is one of the things they stuck in there between where, at the end when he's doing the wheel, the spinning the car around shooting things, it comes to the No Time to Die logo there. Mm-hmm. And then right after that, and for about a second between that and when they say April 2020, there's another shot, and it's kind of a representation of the gun barrel sequence we're used to seeing. But in this case, it's not a gun barrel. It's one of the caves.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And so Bond comes out, turns, and shoots at the viewer from the cave. So right when this movie starts, I'm going to be really intrigued to see, do they replace the gun barrel with that shot?
Ooh, that would be interesting.
Yeah,
Maurice Binder would be, he'd probably still have to get credit, I think.
Yeah, but so it was just one of those things that I'm like, okay, I gotta see. I'm gonna know 3 minutes in if I was right about that.
Yeah.
So that's it. This trailer was, you said, one of the goals of the trailers are to intrigue. This thing did that. There's lots of action. There's some really intriguing dialogue. Some of the camera angles and camera shots they gave us make us want to know more. The only way we're going to know more is we got to go see the movie.
Yeah, come on, April 2020. All right. I love the trailer. And I thought it does what a trailer is supposed to do. It brings intrigue and wonder to the viewer. It makes us talk about Hemingway and all kinds of crazy things. And I can't wait for April to see For Whom the Bell really is tolling here. All right, thanks for joining us. This is Dan Silvestri
and Tom Pizzato
from SpyMovieNavigator.com. Join us on our Cracking the Code of Spy Movies podcast by subscribing to our channel. And send us your comments about spy movies through our Facebook or Twitter pages, and we may use them in a future podcast.